Another earthquake news today coming out of Supreme Court land. Again, Justice Anthony Kennedy announcing his retirement effective July 31st. What is going to happen now? Who may replace him? I think I'm very happy again to be joined by Jim Nuzzo, a legal analyst. Hey, Jim, thank you, sir. Do I have you back?
I'm right here.
Awesome. Do not move. Now, let me start big picture. Why do you think Anthony Kennedy is stepping down?
He's 81. He has served over 40 years in the courts, over 30 years in the Supreme Court. He's getting tired. He has been for some time signaling that it's about time that he's going to be going. I frankly think that one of the ways in which we knew this year he was going to step down was if you took a look at all of the cases, not only were they decided 5-4 with Kennedy on the winning side, but they were very narrowly tailored from a legal perspective. He didn't want to take big bites of law. And I think the reason why he didn't want to take big bites of law is he recognized that his tenure was coming to an end, and therefore he didn't want to make big law himself, wanted to leave it up to the next court.
Jim, is it an exaggeration to say that Anthony Kennedy has been the most important member of the court for the past 10, 15, 20 years? Well, only because he's been right there in the middle, the swing vote?
He and Justice O'Connor, I mean, neither of them have a particularly well-articulated legal philosophy. Now, say what you want to say about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but she has an articulated philosophy. Say what you want to say about Clarence Thomas, but he has an articulated philosophy. If you don't have an articulated philosophy, the way in which those two centrists have, basically their votes are up for grabs. And in a court which is pretty well divided, that means that basically if you're going in to be going in front of the court and trying to win, you don't need to pitch to either one of the sides who basically are always going to be on one side or the other. You're pitching right now to one person, and that person is Anthony Kennedy. He's gone. And that probably means that Roberts becomes, if you will, the centrist on the court.
He is a man that I've known for a long time and a man that I've respected for a long time. He's been a great justice of the Supreme Court. He is a man who is displaying great vision. He's displayed tremendous vision and tremendous heart, and he will be missed.
So Jim, this is going to be a battle. I mean, Gorsuch replaces Scalia. That's a conservative replacing a conservative. But I'm going to assume, and now I want to delve you into where this might go. I'm going to hope and assume that a conservative replaces this swing vote, which would change the makeup of the court.
Well, one thing that's very heartening today is that the president reiterated that the person who will be selected was one of the 25 that was on the list that was drawn up between the president and Leonard Leo, who is the head of the Federalist Society. So we know that we're not going to be getting another Justice Souter. We know we're going to be getting somebody who has been strongly vetted, who really is a reliable, conservative, originalist voice for the court. I have no doubt about that. I think the other thing that you said, Joe, is absolutely right. This is going to be a battle royale. I'm going to give you my idea, which is that it's not going to be one of the judges who's never had a political fight in their life, because this is going to require skin of an elephant. So you're going to need to have somebody who happens to have been through the politics. You've been a congressman. You understand the rough and tumble that politics happens to be. What I found fascinating today were two comments. One by Senator Tom Lee of Utah, who said he was originally approached regarding the Gorsuch seat and said, I'm not interested. And he said, I would not say no. Now, that's a really big double negative, but an important one. And that was followed up very quickly by Ted Cruz, who said, I think it would be a brilliant choice to have Tom Lee. Now, Tom Lee, unlike Ted Cruz, who's also a brilliant guy, everyone in the Senate likes Tom Lee. And everyone in the Senate has known Tom Lee. So Nan Aaron and the Alliance for Justice can try to paint him as an evil person, but even Elizabeth Warren, who will vote against Tom Lee for sure, can't demagogue him as somebody who they don't know.
Yeah, and again, for the record, Jim, and I know you know this, Mike Lee from Utah, not Tom Lee.
I'm sorry, Tom is his brother. Tom is his brother.
Tom is his brother.
Who
Yeah.
is a Supreme Court justice in Utah. Pardon me, you're absolutely, I meant Mike Lee.
But no, you are spot on in your description of Mike Lee. I got elected with him in 2010. I know him well. He's brilliant. And as you said, Jim, he's tough. He's one tough SOB. He might be perfect for a fight like this. Now, is there anything, Jim, that the Democrats can do to try to block this nomination?
One thing that we can do as Republicans is to send a cake to Harry Reid, because Harry Reid has basically made this an impossible fight for Democrats. And that is when he basically...
Well, hey, Jim, can I stop you right there?
Sure.
Because you're going down a road that I love. This is actually Mitch McConnell back in the day warning Harry Reid against getting rid of the filibuster. Take a listen.
Once again, Senate Democrats are threatening to break the rules of the Senate, in order to change the rules of the Senate. And over what? Over what? Over a court that doesn't even have enough work to do? The majority leader promised, over and over again, that he wouldn't break the rules of the Senate in order to change them. If you want to play games, set yet another precedent that you'll no doubt come to regret. Say to my friends on the other side of the aisle, you'll regret this, and you may regret it a lot sooner than you think.
And Jim, here's Harry Reid defending his getting rid of the filibuster for judicial nominations. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got a tweet up there, Harry Reid regaling in the fact that he got rid of the filibuster. Jim, to your point exactly, this is on Harry Reid.
Well, Mitch McConnell came out today, and as the majority leader of the Senate, he sets the agenda of the Senate. He basically sort of says, this is what's going to happen on this day and on this day and on this day. And he basically said that the vetting is happening, that Senator Grassley, who's the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, is going to be holding hearings in August, and there will be an up and down vote on the Supreme Court nominee before October 1st, which means that we will have a justice sitting on the first Monday in October when the new term starts.
Do you worry, Jim, and again, if my math is right, we can't afford to lose a Republican in the Senate. Do you worry about a Jeff Flake or a Bob Corker or somebody pushing back against a Trump nomination?
Look, you never can say anything about a senator who is not going to run for re-election. They are wild mavericks, and Flake and Corker are about as maverick as they come. But I think that when it comes to a Supreme Court nomination, they will play ball, because if they don't play ball, they're basically dead for the remainder of whatever term they have. The second thing is also that the Republicans look very likely now that they're going to control the Senate. So it doesn't pay for Flake or Corker to try to hold things off, because the Republicans will be in the Senate majority in next year anyway. So they might as well try to get their pound of flesh. Now, does that mean that we'll probably get a vote on tariffs the way Flake wants? Probably. Will Corker get something so that he keeps his mouth shut? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But those are the sort of trade-offs that you make. And if you're a president, and if you're the majority leader, you make those trade-offs for a Supreme Court justice 6 days a week and 7 times on Sunday.
Hey, Jim, I've really enjoyed it. I appreciate your patience. I really appreciate you sticking around.
My pleasure.
Very fascinating to listen to you. Thank you, my friend.
Talk
Catch
to you soon.
and Release is back. That's not good news at all.